All right. Who's getting ready to get down to business? All right, let's do it. Okay. So, most of you here, you may not know me. My name is Kim. I'm a Navy vet, and I'm also a father of four. And 13 months ago, I decided to go into the digital space from doing network marketing for over 20 years. We've gone ups and downs. We've done pretty well in the network marketing. But the only thing that is kind of disappointing is that when you do network marketing, you're one corporate decision away from losing it all. Why do I say that? It's happened 3 times to me. They say you can deceive a person once or twice, but the third time is pretty much the last time, right? So that's why I made that decision to go into the digital space because we lost everything in 1 week, the income and the Facebook group. So welcome to the call, Alex. Welcome to the call, Joy. All right, we got someone all the way from Dubai. All right. Welcome to the call, Elaine. Ilzane. Very good. Okay. Drop and let me know where you're from, where you're dialing in from. Okay. Just let me know. And thank you for being the number one fan, Elzane. Thank you for the gifts. Um, and let's keep moving. So, who here has joined me yesterday, all the way from South Africa? Welcome to the call, Elzane. We have a pretty large group in South Africa in our community. And just in case you don't know, if you go up here, if you dial in right here to ppp-learn.com, you'll be able to see our community and you'll see and be able to see all the people from South Africa. We're pretty amazing. Um, I tell you what, I love my South African folks. They're so hardworking and they're so coachable. And that's generally my experience for most third world country, guys. Most of you don't know, but my nationality is Vietnamese, and I was born in France, so kind of a little messed up, huh? But on the other end, I was so raised in Hawaii, so I actually speak 7 languages. Um, all my kids speak at least 3 languages, some four and five. So pretty exciting. I got 4 kids myself. I have 3 boys and a girl. So pretty exciting, guys. Um, and that's really the reason why I do what I do here in the digital space, guys. Is just like any one of you who are mothers, fathers out there, especially stay-at-home parents, right? Trying to make a business online work, and you try so many times, but somehow things didn't work out the way you want to. I'm that guy because I'm used to do face-to-face, kitchen table, kneecap to kneecap. And then trying to learn the online space is a whole different animal, right? So it had to go through the learning curve. I mean, I don't know about you, but there's nothing easy in life, guys. Um, Everything is a learning curve. Okay. Now, how many of you guys think that you have to be very, very tech savvy, right? A lot of people think that they have to be very, very tech savvy. Well, guess what? The reality is you don't have to be tech savvy. Okay. I wasn't tech savvy. Only thing I knew how to do is turn on the stinking computer, right? And basically just use Canva. Canva was the only thing I knew how to use before digital marketing, guys. Pretty amazing. Okay. So that's all I knew. Besides that, I had to learn everything again. You see? So think about this for a second. I lost my following, so I didn't have any following, right? Didn't have any experience in digital space and was barely tech savvy. But why is it that I took on the challenge to learn the tech savvy, right? It's pretty simple. How do you teach this for someone else if you don't not willing to learn it, right? Didn't want to have to depend on someone for the rest of my life. You know, I'm kind of a pretty independent person. How many of y'all feel that way sometimes? Do you feel pretty independent, right? Do you feel like you don't want to depend on someone? You want to be have full control of your business? Absolutely, right? Guess what? It's pretty normal. Okay. Welcome to the call, Raquel. Welcome to the call, Casey. So make sure you dial in. Let us know where you're coming from. Okay. I do not want to be dependent on others. Um, I want to become independent as quickly as possible. And that's just how I always been, guys. Okay. So why did I go into the digital space? I was following a friend of mine who happens to be one of my former mentor, seven-figure mentor, who walked away from a seven-figure income. And I questioned, I said, why was she walking from such an established income, right? Apparently, she didn't agree with some of the things that were happening in the corporate of that company. So her conscience says that it was time to make a change. It didn't quite register for me until 6 months later. So been following her for 6 months. Didn't really have a need to make a change until I lost everything in 1 week. So when I decided to look into it, sadly but said, I didn't have the money to come in. I didn't. So being in my early 50s and losing everything, guess what? I had to worry about keeping the lights on. So I went and actually borrowed the money to start. But the one thing I knew is when it was explained to me what master resale rights was, right? Is that all you had to do is have one customer to break even and get 100% of your money back. I said, you know what? One customer, that sounds pretty simple. I'm all in. Why? Because there was over 58,000 people in the community that show a lot of different validations on how simple it is and how many people it worked for. You see? So after doing my due diligence, I just said, you know what? Let's go ahead and dive in. And guess what? I got my first customer within 7 days. From that point, it was all profit. Never in my life have I ever seen anything like this, guys. For the very first time in my people business career, being around people, I didn't have to create the system. I didn't have to create the onboarding. Everything was systematic and already done for me. How many of you guys can relate to that stuff, right? This is pretty amazing, guys, because when you think about this for a second, okay? Welcome to the call, Eric. But you know what? Think about this for a second. Most businesses fail or usually focus on the big guy rather than the small guy because of a lack of back end system. You see, the clarity of the message in the back end. You see, welcome to the call, Alenka. Welcome to the call, Georgie. Clarity is key, guys. But you can't have clarity if you don't have a system. You see, so this is very important, guys. So you got to think about this for a second because I'm about to dig deep today. I'm going to dig deep to where you understand, right? Exactly what needs to be done on a daily basis to make your online digital space work. But we're going to get into that. You see, one thing that most people fail, guys, is clarity of the message when a person has purchased from you. How many of y'all relate? Drop a yes in the comment, right? Welcome to the call, Ike. Welcome to the call, Claudia. Okay, good to have you guys here. But this is so important. It's important to understand that it's not about just the sale, it's what happens after you got a new customer, right? To me, that is probably more important than just making the sale. I don't start anything unless I know that there is an answer once a person has purchased. If you feel that way, guess what? My hat's to you. Because it should be that way no matter what you sell, no matter what you promote. Welcome to the call there, the people from YouTube. Hang on a second. Looks like the YouTube's not kicking in. Here we go. View channel. All right. There we go. The YouTube's not kicking in. Here we go. All right. Let's kill the sound there. Okay. Very good. All right. Zuli, welcome to the call. Good to have you. All right. Welcome to the call, Zuli. All right. When you come on, make sure you like on the YouTube so it helps the algorithm. Appreciate it very much. Okay. And dial in, let me know where you're from. Okay. Very good. All my folks on TikTok, thank you for joining, Bruno. Thank you for joining. Um, let's see who we got here. Okay. Very good. So at the end of the day, guys, and thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for everything, guys. I appreciate it. So as I was saying, okay, what happens after a person makes the sale is very important to me because they shouldn't have to question of what is the next step. And those of you who don't know, you come to our community, right? Um, you can look right here up here, right? Just dial in right there, ppp-learn.com, and you will see that the minute a person comes in our community, there's no question as to what's the next step. Everything is very clear. Everything is crystal clear. Okay? And in a second, I'm going to reveal to you the daily activity that needs to take place, which is what we call the 2-hour workday, right? And it's actually simple. Now, in the beginning, it might take 1 and 2 hours because you're learning a skill. You're learning a skill that pays very, very high income. Okay. For those of you guys who don't know, I went from zero back to 6 figures in my first 12 months with no experience, no tech skills, and most of all, guys, okay, no digital. That's it. Didn't know anything. I had to learn everything from the beginning, from scratch. Okay, so when you think about that for a second, number one is the platform duplicatable? Hey, Juliana, great to see you, Juliana. Wow, that's been a long time since I haven't seen you, Juliana. But you know what? There's nothing greater than the rewards. The rewards is, can you get your time back without having to work the 18-hour days? You know, Juliana knows working 18-hour days is normal for me. Why? Because you got to deliver, you got to serve your community, right? But what if you didn't have to do that and still be able to serve your community? It's amazing. Okay. Juliana here is one of the individuals that's known me for many, many years. Okay. She knows that when Kim is committed, when Kim gives the time to serve the people, we go all in. We don't halfway do it, you know. Either it gets done right or it doesn't get done at all. Okay. So that is what it's all about. So to have a system that way is crucial. Okay. In fact, let me go ahead and do the dual cam here. Let me do my camera settings. Let me go to my camera settings. Hang on a second, and then see if I can do the dual camera. I did it earlier. Give me a second. Ta ta ta. For those of you guys who haven't seen our community, right? Let me go ahead and flip the camera. This is our community, guys, on TikTok, right? And if you go here on YouTube, I'm gonna share my screen here real quick, and you're gonna be able to see what our community looks like. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going right in here. Classroom. All right. So now you're gonna get to see exactly what our community looks like. You see? So this is our community, right? So you can see here that when you think about it for a second, a person needs to know exactly where to go, how to start. The whole automation takes them by the hand, step by step, with the access of live support with a real person, myself or three of my VAs. Does that make sense, guys? So this is huge. This is important. What you're seeing is real. This is not something that happened overnight, but this is something that I was able to learn from a community that is amazing. Okay? Over 58,000 people has produced 136 figure earners, right? In just a short period of 2 years from nothing, and has produced 27 self-made millionaires in South Africa, in the South Africa rands. This is truly amazing, guys. I became number 128 as far as the six-figure earners in my first 12 months. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to come back to here so you can focus on me here. But that was just a quick peek for you guys, right? To see what we're talking about. Now, come back to me for a second, okay? First of all, yesterday we talked about how to show up. Very important. You're taking time away from your family. Might as well make it work. Don't come back to your family with excuses. Because how long are they going to let you keep taking time away from them if you come back with excuses and no results, right? Secondly, yesterday we talked about the three things you need in order to make the digital space work for you. And I want you to understand this. It doesn't matter what products, it doesn't matter what service or what industry you're in. The number one failure that most people have in business is not knowing how to do marketing. All we do here, hang on a second, let me grab some water. All we do here is provide and teach you the framework. So in our community, we got people from financial industry, we got people from real estates, people from investments that come in to learn the framework. Because I don't care what industry you're in. Here's one thing we can come to agreement. We are all in the business of moving people. Why do I say that? Because if you're not moving people, you're not moving products and services. If you're not moving products and services, guess what? You're not making no money. Now, here's at least two. People say, well, money is the root of all evil. No, money is a tool. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. Does that make sense? Right? So at the end of the day, thank you, Zuli, for liking the YouTube. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. And that's very important. Let's not misunderstand here, guys. Let's not misunderstand, you know, because at the end of the day, guys, it is so simple. Now, I did not say easy. It is simple. The system works only if you work the system. Does that make sense? So, quick recap from yesterday, and then we're going to start digging into today. You only need Wi Fi, you only need a cell phone or a laptop or any kind of mobile device, and you need a social media account. so that you can overcome the marketing skills that pay high income for you to be able to market any products, services, or goods. We're all clear? This is important that we understand that, guys. Okay? So, with that being said, let's dig in to today's topic is what do you need to do on a daily basis to make this work? Drop a 10 in the chat or drop a 10 in the comments if you really want to see what that looks like. And then we're going to go to it because I want to make sure I'm talking to the right audience, right? So, those of you here who don't know me, you can go right up here, right, to the website up top, and you'll be able to see where our community looks like. Okay, it's https / right, ppp hyphen with the minus sign learn.com. Okay, and for those of you guys on YouTube, you see it right on the screen on the top. Okay, which is right up here, right? So you want to make sure you go there, you visit us, and you'll see a lot of things gonna make sense as I go along. Okay. So with that being said, again, what are my daily activities? What do I do every day for me to be able to make this work? Well, number one, I create 3 pieces of content. Let me define content for you. It can be a regular post. How many of y'all know how to post an image on social media, right? How many of you know how to post a story, right? How many of you know how to post a video? All of those are contents. Okay? Do 3 of those a day. That should take you literally no more than an hour. Now, in the beginning, might take you more than an hour. I started out, it took me 2 hours until I got better. And then guess what? The time start reducing, right? And on top of that, once that was done, guess what? Now I got it down to a T, exactly 1 hour. Okay. My first video takes me about 11 minutes. My second video takes me about 14 minutes. And my third video takes me about 22 minutes. Right under 1 hour. Okay. There's a strategy to the madness, guys. You just got to be able to learn that strategy and do it relentlessly for 30 days with an undenying belief. What that means, you can't let your life distractions get in the way. You can't let none of that stuff get in the way. You just got to go with, put your blinders on and just look straight ahead and go with it, knowing that nothing stands between you and your outcome. Does that make sense? Right? So it's very, very important, guys. Very important. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, on YouTube. Thank you for all the love, guys. We appreciate you. Let us know where you're dialing in from, okay? Now, let's move on to number 2. 30 minutes is just to reply and engage, okay? To your comments, reply to your emails, okay? I was doing 30 minutes for a long, long time. But then after 4 months, it took longer than 30 minutes. Is that bad? Absolutely not. If it takes you more than 30 minutes to do replies, that means you're making money. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you so much. Guess what? That's exactly what it means. Because you got engagement. You got people who you've earned your like, know, and trust from that now are inquiring for information. Your job is to take that information they want and have them feel the transformation. That's the whole purpose of the reply and engagement. Okay. So this is very important. Okay. And guess what? That's where you know if you're growing or not growing. You see, your 3 pieces of content gives you presence, shows them how you show up. Are you showing up with purpose or are you showing up with intention? How are you showing up? Okay? Is that person truly, truly wanting to change? Do they believe in what they do? Guys, if you don't believe in what you do and you sound like you're desperate for a sale, it's not going to work. Nobody wants you to look like E.T. Y'all know E.T.? Looking like this. How would you buy from someone who looks like this? Right? I mean, come on. It ain't going to happen. If it didn't happen where you came from, it ain't going to happen over here either. So, number one, get 3 pieces of content with an undenying belief, right? Second, 30 minutes of engagement. Reply to your emails, reply to your comments, right? Engage on the platform, whatever platform you use, right? I use YouTube. That's my primary platform. TikTok, I repurpose my content. Guess what? Technology is a beautiful thing when it does the work for you. Do you guys agree? Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree, right? Thank you. Thank you, Zuli. Thank you for the whole thing. Hi, Wolfie. I guess we got Wolfie. Thank you for coming on. Okay. On the YouTube, folks. Okay. So bear with me. Running 2 platforms right now, and it's been amazing. I did it yesterday, and the results of the outcome was amazing. Okay. So with that being said, guys, okay, let's move to number 3 because number 3 is crucial. Okay. Either you're doing free ads for 30 minutes. Personally, I have not done free ads. Okay. Personally, what I've done is group lives. This is actually my second day doing individual live. Okay. So think about this for a second. I hope this registers with you. Okay. In our first 12 months, we went 6 figures without going individual live, solo lives. None. Zero. Can you imagine that? I just recently made that commitment to go live 5 days a week on a solo live. Okay? This is my second day. And guess what? It's feeling more comfortable. How many of y'all saw the live yesterday? Is it a little different than the live today? Say yes in the comments, right? Say yes in the comments if you were here yesterday and you see the complete transformation of today, right? Today got much better, got more organized, got to understand the live platform for both YouTube and TikTok. As you can see now, things are a lot clearer, right? You can actually read it. Boom, we're good. And we know how to show different assets, right? So if I want to show you the community, I can show you the community, which is right over here. Let me go ahead and flip my camera here. Give me a second. All right, let me flip my camera. So this is the community, as you can see here on TikTok. And if I go right here and share my screen right here, this is the community right here on YouTube. You see? So it is that simple, guys. You just gotta learn to do the basics, no matter what platform you use. Does that make sense, guys? You just gotta learn it and apply it. Once you got this done, boom, everything works like clockwork, right? So if I flip my camera, then we get the force focus back on me, right? And I stop sharing over here, boom, we're right back over here, back to square. So focus with me. What was number 1, right? Number 1 was 3 pieces of content. Okay? It could be, let me use, yeah, most of y'all know I like color, right? So it could be story posts, it could be image posts, or videos, right? Everybody good? Right? So this is kind of what we're talking about. Okay. For my TikTok people, here we go. Okay. Boom. Then you got number two is engagement. So that means reply to comments and emails. Okay. In our community, we also do text. We actually convert 60 to 80% of our customers through text. Okay. Obviously, text is not free. Okay. But let me tell you something. Ask yourself this question for a second. Are you going to respond to a text before an email or respond to an email before a text? And that could be different depending on the age group and your experience. But on most cases, people will respond to a text quicker than they will respond to an email. And I know, Zuli, sorry, I know you missed yesterday, but I'm going to tell you, and you're right. All you need is the basic skills for success. That's correct. And the thing is, we tend to complicate things. We tend to make things so hard when it actually is so simple. Does that make sense? Right? So let me tell you something, guys. This right here is what I struggle right here. Was the engagement. Until I came across a community that taught me how to engage properly. This is huge. This is huge. Okay? How to not start and have everything perfect. It's okay to start messy. Boy, believe me, that was a hard one for me. Okay? I know Zuli can relate because we like to things to be perfect before we do anything. We want to make sure that this is over here, this is over here, this is over here. Guess what? Hey, I can relate to you totally, sister. Right? So let me tell you, engagement was a big one. Now, number three, right, is going live or free ads. So you got A and you got B, right? So you can do free ads or live. But when you live, you can do solo or group live. Okay? This is important you understand this because my first 12 months, this is all I did right here, group live. And it worked. Believe it or not, it worked. We were able to reach 112,000 for the first 12 months. 2025 was amazing coming from nothing. Okay? My sister Zuli over here on YouTube, she was able to witness part of it. Okay? Oh, I know, Zuli. I totally can relate about the whole back situation. I could totally relate. Let me tell you, it costs you money to wait to be perfect. It costs you money, big money. Okay? So at the end of the day, guys, we also have an app that will teach you how to do free ads in our community. Okay? And if you just came on to get to our community, just go right up here. You see what it says? ppp-learn.com. And that will take you right in. Okay? And when you go there, you'll see everything is real time. This is no joke. This is not a gimmick. Over 58,000 people follow this platform. Okay? It's pretty amazing. Okay? So Let's do a quick recap. Okay. Number one, you need to have 3 pieces of content. Number two, engagement, which is where most people fail. Number three, the will to go live. Now you can do live in groups or you can do live in solos, right? You have a Zoom account. Right now, my YouTube is being streamed through Zoom. There you go, Zuli. Look, I was so overthinking it, and I was trying to do this live directly from YouTube, not realizing that you can do this Zoom live where we were doing the group lives. That's how overthinking I was. Okay. But then you know what? The quality of Zoom is even better. But you got to have a Zoom account. And you can also do it from a free Zoom account. Is that when you go live on the free Zoom account, you can only do 40 minutes at a time. Okay? But I'm going to tell you this. I've been on the Zoom platform since the beginning. I have watched Zoom go through their struggles. I experienced those struggles with them. You see? And guess what? No big deal. They have grown to be the number one platform. People still don't understand why Zoom is still the number one leader in this platform after 10 years. Number one, they teamed up with simplicity. Anybody can guess what I mean by simplicity. If you don't know already, Zoom is the most friendly with Apple products. Why? Because they wanted to acquire the market share of Apple. What is Apple known for? Simplicity of connections of multiple devices. That's what Apple is known for, right? So guess what? That's the way it goes. You see? Yeah, I agree with you, Zuli. I saw the Zoom logo too when I was looking at the live. So I'm going to tell you this. That was huge where they integrated everything with Apple products. Zoom became number one because of that. Number two, they simplify the usage of the platform to make sure you have everything you need doing a virtual event. And they've done really well at it. Have there been some platforms out there before Zoom? Oh yeah. You got GoToMeetings, GoToWebinar, right? There's been many before Zoom. But they never were able to understand what is making Zoom stand out. You see? So I love the platform. And the minute I went virtual, you know how much money I saved traveling? Those of you know, I came from a financial background, right? And I used to travel, right? Guess what? Thank you, Zuli. I look forward to support you in your life too, Zuli. But guess what, guys? Saved me so much money traveling. In financial services, I was in a different state 3 times a week, constantly for 52 weeks, because we had offices all over the United States. And a lot of them had to be overseen. We had to make sure everybody speak the same language. They were training and teaching the same material, right? A lot of money, a lot of time. Not mentioning all my license renewals, right? I was licensed in all 50 states. All of that, toilet. Zoom came around, made my life so simple. I tell you, if you're not virtual yet, you're missing out. But let me tell you something, okay? Don't take this lightly. These three items I just talked about today is the definition of what we call in our community the 2-hour work day. This 2-hour work day put my 18 hours work day to bed. Been able to spend more time with my family, been able to get more quality life, and make more than what I actually made before working 18-hour days. If you can relate, that's awesome. Okay. Once again, you want to go in our community on YouTube, just go to the link above, right? Type it out, ppp-learn.com. Those of you guys here on TikTok, look in the screen right above, ppp-learn.com. Okay? That's how you find us. That's how you go. That's where you go. It's great to see some new faces. Earlier, if you were not on the call, one of my great friends from financial services, Juliana, was on. And that was pretty amazing. Okay. I hadn't heard from her or talked to her in years, guys. And she came on just to support the call. So I appreciate that. And I'm definitely going to follow up with her. So, Zuli, thank you for your support here on the YouTube. You've been amazing as always. I look forward to our meeting today. Um, guys, Zuli is one of our person that I mentor, and she's so coachable. Okay, she's amazing, and she's getting the maximum from this community. So, with that being said, I don't want to make this too long. I'm gonna open up the floor here for questions and answers. And welcome to the call, Francisco. Right? Welcome to the call, Luis. Right? Welcome to the call, AB King. We appreciate you. Okay. And I appreciate all the love and emojis and the hearts. You guys are awesome. And on the YouTube here, thank you for those of you guys who came on. We got 2 people here still watching strong, and I appreciate it. Right, all the way to the end. So all of this compiles, guys, just to show you things fluctuate. We've been averaging about 4 or 5 on TikTok. We've been averaging 2 or 3 on YouTube. But yesterday we had 17 on TikTok, and yesterday we had 7 on YouTube. So you can see, depend on the day, depend on the week, right? Things fluctuate. But at the end of the day, all of this is recorded. So you can always go back to my channels on the live, right? So you know how to get to my channels, right? You go to the live section and you'll be able to see those. And those of you guys on TikTok, okay, you can also go to the community and it will give you access to all the channels we have in the community for you to access the recordings. Okay. So with that being said, guys, let me see if I got any questions. Welcome to the call, Kat. Awesome. Welcome to the call, Jawan. Awesome.